All right. So the meeting on Tuesday. What's the name of the meeting? What's the?
It's called calling all people BIPOC, and I think that's such an old term now, but Black, Indigenous, people of color, and this includes men, by the way. I want to, because there's men in our community that are doing some awesome work, and they are isolated as workers as well. So I'm coming not just from a worker perspective, but the reason we're having this meeting is just because, you know, the maternal death rate is high. Our people are in trouble, and we live under a regime right now. So it just makes sense that as workers, we're pitted against each other, and as people of color, we're pitted against each other, as we have in ICE and other places. And, you know, our men, where's our men?
Are we recording?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And y'all are munching away, so that's okay. But so we're having this meeting because it's like, it makes sense to me that, you know, we come together, teach each other, support each other as workers, as helpers in the community, and that we're doing sacred work. And I don't want to lose sight of that, of our traditional ways. So, and I have a lot to learn. So, and I have a group of elders, and I have a group of young people that I rely on. So part of this is like just getting us really clear, because if we're clear, then it don't matter what everybody else is doing to us as workers, as women, because the majority of us are women, doing really, really hard work with no support at all from either each other. And then we're kept separated from each other. I know where we worked at, we were like, everybody was afraid to talk to each other. Everybody was afraid to even speak out when something didn't seem right. And so that's the place where I'm coming from. It's like, well, what are our rights? And then we live in the right to work state, which I think is crappy. I think any nonprofit that uses that right to fire you for any reason, they don't have to tell you why, is like, you know what? That's not a nonprofit that it cares about its people and its workers. Punto. You know, how do I say GTH? Anyway, you want to add any more to that?
No, just a little bit off topic. You know, we talk about healing and stuff like that, and how everyone has I'm a historian myself, and so what I did with y'all in partaking of the chocolate candy, that's what some indigenous tribes do, whether it's a cocoa bean or whether it's a peace pipe or whether it's mezcal or whatever they do. So that was my little treat to y'all, to kind of
That was a nice treat.
bring us together in sharing of a little treat and coming together as what we're here to do. I studied with University of New Mexico online, and growing up in the barrio with women in my family that were actual healers and parteras. I like Tata Pedrito Jamarillo, Nino Fidencio. So Nino Fidencio believed in treating the child and healing the inner child, and he believed laughter was healing medicine. So some of his patients, he would tell them to start laughing, and before he knew it, they were walking and talking, and they weren't stuttering anymore. So I want to bring that fun out right now. You know, with being in Uvalde, after the shooting in Uvalde, I was there in the days that followed, and the fun's gone. I met a young man who was a special needs man at church, and I just wanted to be like it was before, happy. And if a simple man, this autistic adult, can say that and express that with his words, you know, we need to adhere to that, because other people are they're saying the same message. We want it back the way it was. We want our laughter back. We want our joy back. It just feels that since 2020, since COVID, everything's been more and more oppressing, and we need to break the cycles of damage and trauma, because everything that's going on outside is traumatizing the next generation. All these things. I have 12 grandchildren, and I cannot even begin to fathom the fear that they're living in their classrooms.
Right.
In their classrooms. and they see it every day at a different level through the eyes of a child. What are they witnessing? Parents not coming home, their classmates disappearing. You know, I'm working with young mothers who are either being deported, trying to self-deport, or trying to legalize themselves, and there's no one out there to help them fill out the paperwork. So this is what
There's
we
nobody
need.
That's
to
true
help.
because
They need paperwork.
I had a mother one time that was walking was Office Depot, and she was so scared because she was trying to rush to get her kids registered in school, but she had to get some paper, some document, but she didn't know how to fill out the paperwork. And she asked me randomly, can I help her? And I'm all like, yeah, I can help you, you know, but then she just walked away. And I'm over here thinking, how am I gonna help her? I guess she's gonna come to my house. She's gonna have to come to my house so I can help her fill out those papers. Because it's written in, she talked to me in Spanish, so it's written where she can't understand. Because they didn't have those papers in Spanish. But I do believe they do have it. But I don't know, but it is happening. There's a lot of people out there who, you know, are gonna need those resources to help them out. There's a lot of moms, they don't even know where to turn. She was worried about her babies.
Let me just say another thing. Our people aren't stupid. By no means. The majority of us are geniuses. It's trauma that keeps us from el miedo, that keeps us from survival, keeps us struggling. Some of it, of course, there's always oppression going on too. What is oppression? I have clients that I have to say, or community members that I have to explain. For example, women, I have to explain to women how the system is set up so that you really don't even you can't even breathe. Women's lives are hard, men's lives are hard too, but we don't even know what's on us. So for me, I tend to be more of a psychologist, right? But for me, it's like I'm having to explain, this is how it's set up. The system, the court system, like, say CPS comes and takes your baby, right? How are you gonna fight it? So that really intimidates us. Not only, we're also traumatized when our babies get taken away. You mess with our babies, we're just a mess. So I have to calm them down. You know, everything's gonna be okay, which is major. Because in that moment, you wanna kill somebody or do something drastic.
Just last week, I had one of my ex-clients call me when I'm at work and left me voice messages that I was following her with her babies in the car. And when you say, when you that feeling that you feel, she knows that feeling now, that she's walking on thin ice because they pulled her over and she's telling them that she's an American citizen, and it was eyes that she got so scared, traumatized, and her voice on the memo that she left me is so scary and so eerie. The you could hear that she was scared.
Right, which triggers us too.
I called her and I said, I'll call you after work, and I called her and she started faucets again. Jennifer, it's ugly out there. Do not drive out that way. They don't care what, they'll pull you over. Make sure you have your ID or something, because I did not have mine. I cried, I pleaded for them to let me go. She went straight home and did not come out.
I've seen on top of the DPS cars where they have the scanner.
Yeah.
So as they're driving, they're scanning everybody's license plate.
So she was actually door dashing, trying to make money, and she got pulled over. This is one of my moms, and her children are like 3 and 4.
Well, I think, in order, if we can work together and do a collaboration where we do a some kind of like a check-in system, membership system, where, hey, you hear from us, we hear from you, you need us, we need you.
And I'm glad that these women are smart enough to remember. I said, just call me.
Yes.
It's free. I mean, you don't have to get paid to talk. I don't need to get paid to talk to you.
Right.
This is something normal that we should be doing.
So
to each
let's
other.
talk about that, and we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to give resources for that.